Well, good morning. It's me again. Now today, I'm down in Kent as my normal patch, as you know. Now I've got a bit of a story. I've got an old chap here now, and he's going to tell me a bit of his life. And he's got a few tractors, so we'll have a chat about his tractors as well. And also, he's got a few animals. Now, if you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up for me. I do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, think about subscribing to the channel. Helps the channel out nicely, get chance to talk to more people like Bernard. And anyway, enough chat, let's get on with this video.
Good morning.
How are you this fine and sunny day in Kent?
The sun's shining, we're all happy.
Now, you don't mind me telling the viewers that you're 78 years young.
That's right.
It's great. And you're a Kent man through and through.
Yep.
You've been here all your life.
Yeah.
Now, tell us, where was you born? Was you born in where you are now?
Alresford, Kent.
Alresford, Kent. And what made you move from Alresford to where you are now?
Building.
Building and more building.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you've been in farming or something to do with farming all your life. Where did it all start off then? When you left school, where did it all start off, Bernard?
I was brought up on a farm.
Brought up on a farm?
My dad was a farmer, yeah.
Yeah, and what sort of farm was it?
He was a manager of a farm.
Yeah.
They had stock. It started off, it was milking herd.
Yep.
And they got rid of the milking herd. They brought in Sussex cattle, and they had Sussex cattle on there all my life. And funny enough, the Sussex, the owner of it, he's just gone, and the Sussex have all been sold up.
And is that why you got a passion for Sussex in your own bit of ground here?
Yeah.
So what did you do around the farm? Did you have all the old tractors and that sort of thing?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the main tractor on the farm at the time?
On that one?
Yeah, on that particular farm?
Massey Ferguson.
Massey Ferguson. Well, Kent was Massey Ferguson,
right,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, or as you know, I've got a passion for the old grey Ferguson, the T20, and you've got a couple of T20s yourself. Now, was it a sort of just a dairy herd? It weren't mixed farming or a bit of everything, was it?
No. The dairy herd went because that was back in the war, 40s, 50s, right back there.
Yeah.
And then about 55, the son took over the farm where we lived.
Yeah.
And he done away with the milking dairy herd.
And you went
into Sussex.
Sussex.
And that's how I got interested in Sussex.
All right. So strictly for meat, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Did you milk them as
done
well?
A lot of showing.
All right.
Yeah, and I got interested in showing. I've done a bit of showing myself with Sussex.
Yeah.
Very interesting world, you know.
So you stayed on that farm for?
I moved off of that because the farm discontinued. It was all pushed over and warehouses.
Oh, okay.
And I actually bought the house what my parents lived in off the farmer.
Really?
And I was in it 5 years, and it got blighted by the motorway.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
The
I
M20.
thought that's my move.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's sad, you
Yeah.
know, because it was a nice spot years ago, and I ended up at Mardin, so. And never regretted it.
No.
Always, it's
Especially
a lovely spot.
Especially where you are now. I mean, probably it was different when you first moved there because they're now building housing estates, and we talk about that later in the video. But you carried on with farming throughout that time, did you? Where did you move from there then? To another farm or?
No, I come straight to Mardin from.
Yeah,
Alresford.
but you went into farming in this area, did you?
I do a bit of work for a company, Hermitage Lane, with their cattle. That's
right. Yeah, and you've done that since you've moved from here.
Yeah.
Is it a part-time thing or is it a full-time?
I do every weekend.
Really?
Yeah, stand in with the stock.
The stockman, yeah.
I don't mind. I never worry about working weekends. You know.
No,
we
no.
don't, do we?
No.
You know?
Now, obviously, the breeding of cattle, you're quite passionate about the breeding of cattle and making sort of the pedigree is in the animal, is it?
That's right, yeah.
And you,
Yeah.
and you have to get a different bull in, do you, every a few years?
Yeah, or else it starts throwing back, you know.
Yeah.
You can get deformed and things like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If we carry on, so.
And obviously that you don't want to mate him with their own
That's right, yeah.
children, do you? So you obviously get a new stock in.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we move on to tractors now. We'll talk about the tractors. Now, you had Massey Ferguson's back in the day. What was they, 35s, was they?
35s, yeah.
35Xs?
Well, at the beginning of my life, when I was, 11 years old, I think it was, in them days, you know, there wasn't no such thing as safety, was there, in a sense,
No.
you know. So, as soon as I was big enough, if there was a field wanted rolling or something like that, my dad used to take the tractor and we used to go out to it, and he'd sit me on the seat, put it in gear,
Really?
and
Oh,
he'd say,
fantastic.
I'll be back at 12 o'clock, because I couldn't reach the pedals.
Oh, blimey.
And that's how it used to go.
Really?
Or go out topping sheep meadows.
Yeah.
He used to come out, put the PTO in gear, put the tractor in gear, and yeah, I was about 9, 10 years old when I first
No,
started that.
really?
Yeah.
And you loved it, obviously?
Oh yeah, it was great.
Well, I suppose
Right.
it's for kids' dream, and it's to
Yeah,
drive a tractor
yeah,
around a
yeah.
big open field.
Yeah.
Was
But
it?
sometimes it used to be a long time, you know, of hoping that
It'd
soon
come back soon, yeah.
yeah.
Especially on a day like today,
Yeah,
when
that's right.
you wanted a drink or something, you're getting
Because
hungry.
in them days, you know, years ago, there was far better summers. You don't get it up and down so much as what you do
No.
now.
No.
Far better summers.
Yeah.
Couldn't complain of them at all.
And that tractor you sat on, was that a 35?
That was a grey Fergie.
That was a grey Fergie. Oh, we
Yeah.
loved the grey Fergies, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it a petrol or was it a diesel or TEF?
They had both.
They had
down
both.
at that time, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they was the main workhorse at the time,
That's
really.
right, yeah.
You know, after, I mean, the First World War, before the First World War, it was all sort of horses, wasn't it? And
That's right.
the stockmen had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get the horses out and fed, and then the First World War come, and then we was it? Oh no, it was the Second World War,
Take
really.
the man who women what was out there on those Fergies when they first played up all the grassland,
Really.
put in potatoes and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And most of the crops was a flop because there was no manure on the ground or anything like that. So they was all a flop. You know?
Really.
Practically all of them.
You say about manure. Now, I did hear a story now. I don't know how true it is. They used to put shoddy. They called it shoddy in the ground, which was old clothing. They used to plough into the ground.
And that's right. Yeah.
Trying to get some sort of goodness into the land
That's
to
right,
make things
yeah,
grow.
Yeah.
And there was a story going round in Paddock Wood. They used to import it from London. All the old rags that used to come down from London, shipped down to Paddock Wood or somewhere like that, local station. Then it was a horse and cart used to go to the station, collect it all up, bring it down to the fields, bung it on the fields. Then the ploughman would have come along, someone like yourself, and plough it in.
That's right. I can remember that year when I was little.
Really?
Yeah, I used to break it all down, kind of
Yeah.
pull it all to pieces.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? I suppose it's. I mean, as a young man, you was probably doing all that sort of thing, wasn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
And so how long was your father on the farm for then?
all his life.
All his life.
Yeah.
Was it a good paying job?
84 when he finished.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it a good paying job as a or no?
Struggle all the time, really.
Really? No luxury holidays abroad, was it in those days?
No.
Did
But
you ever?
we just enjoyed our lives, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't want to go anywhere. That
No.
was our life.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
And what a shame now. All these people have to rush abroad when we've got it all here. What more do
Especially now, and
Yeah.
I've always said, me and my wife says, why do we don't need to go on holiday in the summer because we got the summers. We go on holiday when it gets a bit nasty, when you just or early spring or somewhere where you've had enough of the winter time.
That's
you know,
right, yeah.
Go abroad
Yeah.
then, enjoy your life a little bit, but not now in this case, especially in Kent. I mean, the motorways and houses not quite got everywhere in Kent, but there's still some parts in Kent which is the Garden of
Wonderful
England.
places, yeah. They're
Garden.
really wonderful places.
Really.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
obviously, on this, you moved up to Marden. Now, Marden's was a mainly hop growing area,
That's
wasn't
right,
it?
yes,
Did you go into the hops industry?
No.
No, still stay with cattle.
Just when I was young, my mum used to go out into the hop gardens because there was 7 of us.
Yeah.
Used to go into the hop gardens, during the hop picking time, September.
Yeah.
Always September the 10th. On that date, they always started hop picking,
Really, September the 10th?
and that was my birthday.
No, really?
Yeah.
And
September
as
the
kids,
10th.
you used to go out with Mum, did you?
Yeah, the old kettle down the end of the road,
Really?
brewing up, that smell
Fantastic.
going across the hot garden of tea.
Exactly what we want to
and,
hear,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, really great, you know.
Yeah. And now the story goes that is it the poke where you used to pick the hops into? And
The bin.
The bin. And was it true that they used to chuck the youngsters in the bin to fluff it all up to make it look bigger and more?
That's
So when
right.
the tally man come along, and when he put his scoop into the poke or whatever it was, it looked more than what it
It's
was.
bushel.
Bushel.
Yeah.
Oh, bushel
We
bag.
measured out in bushels.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
it? Oh,
yeah.
right. So, and he had a man alongside him taking
Taking it all down, yeah.
how many bushels the family put
yeah,
in.
yeah.
So what was you all round the
all round the bin.
yeah,
Yeah.
picking away
Yeah,
before the machinery come
6
along?
o'clock in the morning before the dew's gone, and when you pulled a bine, you got soaked. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
To the sun come up and dried them all out. You know?
oh God,
Yeah.
that must
But
be.
that was really great. That was really great. That was a thing to. Well, you just can't explain it to you. You was there actually in that hop garden,
Exactly.
and those primer stoves and that down the bottom of the rows. And
Primer scoves, with little paraffin
that's
jobbies.
right. Yeah. Yeah, and that smell of tea brewing right across the hop garden is unbelievable.
Really? What, first thing in the morning or
Yeah,
all
yeah.
throughout the day?
All throughout the day they used to leave it brewing, so,
right in the kettle.
so they didn't have to stop picking.
No,
You know?
right.
Yeah.
Did you have breaks? Did you have breaks in not picking?
They had their midday
Yeah.
one, you know.
And what, did Mum come along with some sandwiches or
Yeah,
something then?
yeah,
Made up?
sandwiches, yeah.
Ah,
Because
right.
all they was all out there. The Londoners used to come down, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Well, they
just to get mainly to get the money to get the kids' uniforms for school.
and it's the summer holidays, don't forget,
Yeah,
as well
yeah.
for the Londoners as
Yeah.
well. Now, I heard a story, I don't know if it's true or not, you'll probably put me right on this. The farmer used to send a train ticket out to the regular farmers each year for them to pack their stuff up and travel down to Kent, and he'd go down to his lorry or his horse and cart and pick them all up from the station, bring them up to the farm, and
I never actually knew about it, but I'd only heard that that's what some of them used to do.
right, regular hop pickers that
Yeah,
used to be their
yeah.
trusted persons, wasn't
That's
it?
right, that's right.
So when did the hop picking machine come into the Bernard? Was it in the 60s, was it, or like the fixed one in the barns?
It must have been the 60s. Must have been six. Yeah, 55, 60s.
Not
somewhere
quite the
around
same
there.
though, was it really?
No,
Not from out
it
in the field.
changed to everything. That did.
Really?
You know, when that went, that was the beginning of everything shifting. Times was all moving then, you know.
Yeah.
It was such a shame, really.
So what did you as kids used to hang on the bines and pull them
Pull 'em
down,
yeah, yeah.
straight into
Yeah.
and you just pick away?
Pick away, yeah.
Really?
Sit on the side of the bin, pick away.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I've seen you got hops round in your little field here. Now, they tell me there's a male hop and a female hop.
That's right.
Now,
The male, it's blind.
oh, right.
You won't see no hops on it. Like
No.
a cucumber and things like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
got a female and a male.
So where did they plant them ones? They obviously didn't plant them in the main fields.
They wasn't meant to be there where they did grow. Those.
Oh, right.
So there was no use for them, you know.
Oh, right. Oh,
They didn't
no
produce a-
pollination or anything like
no,
that?
no, they didn't produce the hops.
Oh, right.
So-
Oh, I see.
We just used to get them sometimes,
Yeah.
blind, like this year, especially in cucumbers, the outdoor ones. A lot of them were blind this year, just flower and nothing on them.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, blimey. Now, when you're picking the hops, obviously, now, does your hands go green with the, or
Oh, it's terrible.
is it?
Yeah, it takes a long time to get it off, you know.
Really?
Because you never had detergents to
No.
back then.
What's it
to
like,
do
a
the-
tar on your hands, I would think,
Oh.
something like that?
Yeah, yes, it would. It would build up on your fingers, yeah.
Now,
yeah.
I heard a story now, I've done another story of an old hop farmer. His hair used to go bright green in the summer when they was picking hops, because he used to spend all his time wiping his head,
That's right.
and it used to be on his hand. And he said, as soon as it goes from, he washed it out, his hair went silver straight away. So whatever it was in the hops used to make his hair go
That's
silver.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but more so the older ones it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. that used to, Londoners mainly, where they used to come down
Really?
and, yeah.
Oh, it must have been a great life, and of course then the hops went off to drying, and what a smell that must have been when they dried the hops.
What a smashing smell.
Really?
Really nice, yeah.
I've got a few hop things on my channel, and when I've smelt them drying, they're just so aromatic, aren't they? And you know, they tell me they used to make hop pillows out of them and you could put hops in the pillow, and it makes you sleep better. Have you ever tried that one?
Never tried it, but that's what they used to say when we was in the op garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you work from 6 o'clock in the morning right round till what?
About 4:30, I think it was, they used to pack up there
Yeah.
in the op garden.
And you used to
About
go home
5
and-
o'clock.
Yeah. And then the Londoners and they'd have their campfire going and
Yeah, they'd have like camping areas and all that kind of thing.
Yeah,
in, off the op gardens, just, you know.
they tell me, I don't know if it's true again, is that you could walk up a lane in Kent and you're in September and all you see is campfires, the lights from the old opera huts and the
That's right,
campfires
yeah,
going,
yeah.
and it'd be pitch darkness, but and then you hear them singing and one thing.
Oh, I was there. Yeah, fantastic times they used to have.
Yeah. Another story.
Even though it was hard work all the time, they always had time to enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
It was nice, you know, when you look back at it.
Yeah.
You know.
They tell me also that they used to sing because they were scared of the dark. No, I don't know how true that was because
I never heard that one
No.
before. No.
apparently they used to walk to the pub, and when they come out of the pub, they've all had a few sherbets.
Oh yeah, when they
And they
yeah.
used to walk down these little country
Yeah.
lanes where it was pitch dark, and they used to sing because it keeps off the bad people, like, you know, because
Yeah.
they was all scared of the dark. Now, obviously, that's a story.
Because that generation's all dying out now. This used to be up country all around here, Yalding and
Yep.
everywhere. Now, like hot picking time, summertime, just get no end of hot pickers. What used to do the hot picking years
Yep.
and years ago, come down to Yalding and
Yeah,
used to be full up with them really.
really.
And it was great old times, you know.
Yeah.
But when they left the public houses at that time, you know, when I was older and used to drink and deliberately go over there just to see the operas. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
When they used to leave the pubs at night, they used to be ever so noisy. So
Yeah.
perhaps
Yeah.
there's something in this, what
Yeah.
you're saying, I don't know.
And they used to have little shops on the farms or something where you could buy your bread,
That's
your
right,
eggs.
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and so you
They used to have
make
wire
sandwiches.
cages all up so that they couldn't pinch anything.
Really? Oh,
And
Londoners,
everything.
yeah.
And the
obviously.
Londoners said there was always a way round it.
Really?
Yeah.
So you
yeah.
buy your bread and your cheese and your eggs to make your sandwiches,
Yeah,
a bit of
that's
ham
right,
during the
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Oh, what a fantastic life.
Yeah.
You cannot buy that for a child. We spoke about this earlier about I brought my kids up on a small holding not far from here, and you can't buy that for children. I mean, you've got a
that's
smile
right.
on your face, Bernard, when you talk about it. And
It's some life, really. If you enjoy this life, you don't want to go out of this country.
yeah, the thing is also when you're not enjoying life, you're a sad person, aren't you? Really, you've got to smile every day, haven't
That's
you?
right,
And you've
yeah,
got to get out
yeah,
every day.
yeah.
It's no good sitting in the house watching daytime TV. That's good for nobody, then,
That's
isn't
right.
it? I mean, you'll probably live for another 30, 40 years, Bernie.
Hope so.
Hope so.
Hope so. I really hope
because
so.
you can still go out and do a bit of work, and you still play with your tractors, and you still play with your animals, and we'll get to see them in a minute.
I don't really stop, really.
No.
You know, I just keep plodding on.
Now, going back to the ops thing, what we was talking about then. Now, they was telling me that you never see the husbands because the husbands used to always work in London or something, and they'd come down on the weekends. Was this true as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they also tell me, I don't know how true it was, but the money they used to earn in the ops, they would drink it up on the weekends, so they'd only come down for their holiday.
A lot of them did, but a lot of them went just to get kids' clothes, really.
Oh, right.
You know, to go back to school.
Oh, right. Oh, the money for going back to school.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I mean, I'm 64, so I mean, I can remember my mum taking me out with the old co-op tokens and getting me school uniform
it, yeah.
each year.
Yeah.
And so it must have been the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Hot money paid for the school
That's right.
uniforms,
Yeah.
you know, and a holiday.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, September can be back in those days a nasty time of the year. It could have probably been not as as nice as it is today. It could have some rainy days and
Oh
cold
yeah, we
days.
could have, but it was more back then. When I was a kid, it always seemed to be more settled than it does now.
Yeah, there's not no highs and lows.
That's right.
That's the trouble in this
Yeah.
country now. We go from cold weather to scorching hot weather, don't we? There's no transition period, none at all.
Once we had our seasons, we really got seasons like hot picking time, harvest time,
Yeah.
apple picking time. It was really seasons, and like potatoes.
Yep.
Um,
So did the people come from like the hops to the apples, or was the apples before the hops?
no, some of the apples was,
Yep.
and some wasn't. Back then, I think you'll find the last ones to come off was the brambling, the old brambling.
The big
Yeah,
apple pie apples,
Yeah,
as we
yeah.
called it. Yep.
yeah. Because even today, a lot of farmers still grow the old brambling.
Yep.
But most of those old bramblings go to Ireland because they're sweeter apple,
Oh really?
and they like them for pie making or everything
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, I tell you, my mother used to make a lovely apple pie out of bramble.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, crusty pastry, a little bit of sugar on top. Oh, it making me mouth water as we
Yeah,
speak about it, you know.
yeah.
And unfortunately, we grabbed a lot of Bramley apples, didn't we, in this
That's
country?
right, we did. But
You know,
there's
back in
quite-
the 70s.
There's quite a few orchards around here, Bramley stuff.
Really?
The old Bramley. Yeah.
So you picked hops as kids.
Yeah.
You picked apples, and you
Yeah.
said potatoes as well.
Well, actually, about 3 years ago or so, I did go out picking Bramley apples.
Really?
Just to give it a try. I wanted to give it a try.
Yeah. See.
I found it a bit of a struggle, you know.
Yeah. But you
But
ain't
I
got to
done
make
it.
you ain't got to make a profit out of it.
No, but
It was
I
a
wanted to
day
do
out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a day out
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
And exercises your legs and your arms. And it
That's
keeps you
right,
busy,
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
it? Oh, mate. And so you've gone from a young childhood doing all this picking, and you worked on old tractors. Did the old Folsom tractors ever about? Did you ever
Yes.
come across them?
Yes.
Was
yeah,
it
the old lug ones?
Oh, the old ends. Was it nine?
That's right,
No,
yeah.
no. Sorry, the 9 come later. The N was and Model F. The Model F and the Model N, wasn't it?
That's
I
right,
believe.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you drove them, did you?
The N up at Alsford on the farm where we was there, if you got freezing weather in the winter, that was the only one you could start up. You used to wind it up,
Oh, really?
and all the others wouldn't start.
So
in
you used
the
that one
cold.
to tow the others.
Yeah, to start the others up. Yeah,
See?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
And you was on. Did it take much of a wind over?
You had to be careful as it kicked back at you.
Really?
Yeah, you had to
Break
be
your
really
wrist,
careful.
would it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, mate. Because they weren't no PTOs in those days, was there? or
That's
anything
right,
like?
no,
it
you
was just
just-
a drawbar, wasn't it?
Well, the Fergie come out with PTO on.
That's right. And
Right,
the 3-point linkage,
That's
obviously.
right, yeah.
Old
yeah,
Harry Ferguson.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So you worked with the old Folsoms, and then
Yeah, that's right.
And then you went to the majors, did you? The
Yeah,
night,
yeah,
and then the super majors.
yeah, that does, yeah.
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 What I mean, if you could pick a particular tractor, now I know you've got grey Fergies. What is your best? What is in your years of experience? Because some are blue, some people are blue, some people are grey, some people are red, some people are green. What would you say? What would you say if you?
There's nothing to touch the grey Fergie. The way it was made,
Yep.
you know, I was a kid, and 1954 mine is, and it's still going as good as.
It's
It
so
was
easy to
then.
work on, even for a dim person
they
like myself.
They don't make a tractor like that
No.
no more. You know, and that's my favourite tractor. I can go out days and days on end and work with that tractor.
Yeah.
Not get tired of it, you know.
And it's small enough that it's not too much like hard work,
That's
is it?
right. No,
And maintaining it. Easy. They say never touch the engine until it breaks.
that's right.
The hydraulic pump, as we spoke earlier, pull the PTO shaft out, drop the hydraulic pump out the bottom, have a tinker, put it all back, it's all done, never touch the gearbox, it all works lovely.
That's
the only
right.
thing you have to watch out is, now correct me if I'm wrong, is the starter plates. You have to keep them clean,
That's right.
else they don't start very well with the gear stick.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're a grey man. Oh, I've got to pat you on the back there, Bernard, because you're a man after my own heart.
You can't go wrong with the grey.
So can we have a walk round him in a minute and have a look at them?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
before we walk round there, so you've gone on, you've come up here, you worked on cattle all your life, you've moved into your new cottage, and you've been here since 1991.
91.
Now, unfortunately, as we spoke about it previously, they're building round here, aren't they, Marden? Now, I've got a little bit of thing about this. It upsets me really because there was a cricket pitch in Marden. Now, that was given to us by a local farmer, and you said the farmer's name was Day, the Day family. Now, that was given to the community back in what, World War One, or when the troops come back from France.
Back. Yeah, yeah.
And now the council, in their mind, have decided to build on it. Now they give it to. Now, I think that's wrong because it was given to the community for the local people, and now they've built a great big housing estate on it. What's your feeling about this?
Whoever give the right to build on there, there shouldn't be no. It should stay as it was.
Yeah.
And now there's all houses poking over the top here.
Yeah, and
You
where
know?
you are in a nice rural scene, in 20 years' time, it's probably going to be an housing estate.
That's
I thought we're
right.
going to lose all
Yeah.
this, aren't we?
All gonna go, yes.
And
Look,
it's next for our next generation to turn around and say we must stop this, mustn't we?
Yeah.
We must stop this building in the countryside because else otherwise, for our children's sake or even our grandchildren's sake, they want to go somewhere in the countryside and enjoy what we're looking at now.
That's right.
I'm going to turn the camera around now because your animals are coming towards us.
Some of them. Some of them. That's the Sussex. The red ones. The black ones.
That's better. So the Sussex, obviously it springs back from when you was a child and had Sussex on the farm.
Yeah, and the Sussex originate from the oxen.
Oh really?
I don't know what they cost them, how they got that animal, but that's where they originate from.
Really?
Yeah.
So are they your animals or your
Mine. Yeah.
yours? And what do you sell the calves on, or do you push
Yeah.
them into meat yourself?
No, I don't like doing that.
No, you're a bit
I'm
like
a bit weak.
Yeah. Well, it's sad when you work with something for a long time and then put it to meat.
Yeah.
It breaks your heart, really, doesn't it?
They're like pets, you know.
They're more pets than actual money earners, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really, not
But I have to
walking.
keep turning them, you know, sending them out. 'Cause,
Yeah.
You know,
Well, you couldn't be able to do what you do otherwise,
No.
would you?
there's some more coming up there somewhere. But yeah, it's a love. Just to see them, you know.
Yeah.
And like if I'm away all day, and when I come home and
It makes you
and
smile,
they-
doesn't it?
Yeah.
I can see
They
that.
all
Bernard.
come up and they're there, you know.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
lovely world.
Oh, it's
Very
fantastic.
nice world.
Even, I mean, you've not got a lot of acres here, have you?
No.
You know, and just a few acres you got, it's as you say, it makes you smile every
That's
day.
right.
I mean, you've got beautiful, as I call it, the old cottage garden there behind us. You know, I mean, the cottage must be a few hundred years old or something like.
You couldn't put a date to it.
Really? Any ghosts in there?
No,
No.
not of I know of.
Not yet, no.
no.
Right. Oh, well, thanks a lot for talking to us. I really appreciate it. What we're going to do
No,
now,
it's been nice talking to you. You
We're-
know.
we're gonna-
People should-
we're going to have a walk around and look at your tractors now, if that's all right with you, Bernard,
Yeah.
and perhaps have a
Fine.
look at your animals. Okay then.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll catch you in a little while. See you in a little while.
Okay.